Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a beautiful day for the Pirate Broadcast, and we are here to assist you, introduce you, and inform you on some of the things that are going around the world with interesting people doing interesting things. And as you know, we're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Periscope, all of the places you can actually join and enjoy content. So I would love the opportunity for you to join me, have a conversation, comment, let us know where you are, where you're coming from, and also sign up, share, make comments, subscribe, all the social things that need to go on in the world to make things go around. And today we have Kevin Turner. Kevin is in the room, and he's already a pirate.
Failed pirate.
and we're gonna bring him back because we had a great time last time. However, we had some technical challenges, and so welcome back, Kevin. How are you doing, my friend?
Russ, fantastic, and I do really appreciate being back on. It was sad to fall behind a technology problem that just kind of kept us from communicating and I guess talking with the community. So I was very depressed after that.
Well, we are very impressed to have you here, and we're excited to have this conversation. So,
fantastic.
With that, tell us what's going on in your world. What are you doing right now that's exciting you?
Well, today is Unity Day.
Yep.
So anti-bullying, anti-harassment, something I believe in, and I'm just excited that it's there. That's why I'm wearing my orange. Can't really see it too well, but got my orange shirt on. To promote the day. Just really excited it's out there. I've posted on LinkedIn about it. LinkedIn has come up with a couple of new tools to help this process. And one of them actually is content warning reports. So now you get a message in your messaging that is if the AI detects the keywording and phrases for bullying or harassment, it identifies it, says content warning, right? This could be harassing, and it allows you to report it with one click. And so I thought it was a great thing because it came out just the other day, and it's perfect timing for Unity Day, which I think we all should celebrate.
Absolutely. And I think Shelley has something going on. Shelley Islinger has some things going on today. And so from 9 o'clock last night till 9 o'clock tonight, I believe is the schedule.
Absolutely. So, and I think it's fantastic. She's incredible. I'm part of the Decide to Be Kind Club. There you go. I think I've got mine in my pocket. Let me see. I had it on the other day. So
there you go.
Terrible this year. It has been a crazy, crazy year with so many things happening. And I've promised Shelley to get my picture with my wife, since we're TNT. And send this and post it, and I haven't done it yet, and I know she's not very happy with that, but it's coming. So
it's coming.
Late,
it's on the list.
Not never.
Not never. So there's so many things. It's been a crazy year, and I know that you're a brand strategist, and you stay in tune with what's going on around the world in terms of what's happening, what's trending, and some of the things you stay in touch fairly well from what I can tell. So what's new, fun, and exciting now that we got that change in LinkedIn? I know there's some other changes in LinkedIn that have been popping up as well. I know that the stories are still evolving and creeping out. Events have been evolving. I'm kind of excited to see how that rolls out and changes. I've tested the streaming to an event. I've evaluated that to varying degrees of success. I think that's going to be an exciting opportunity for some people to really actually get people involved and promote an event where they can actually get people to attend at a certain time and get notifications at the same time.
That's key, yeah. And the fact that you can push it out to them.
Yeah.
Get them to notice that it's an opportunity that they may be interested in. And I think LinkedIn is doing some great leaps and bounds in those kind of community building tools like that. And I think they're fantastic. And to me, I used to travel a lot. I used to travel 80% of my month. I've done business in 140 countries. I was on the airplane so often that I would get on the plane and it was like norm, right? They're like, Kevin, and they knew I like to take a nap as soon as the engine started. They knew what I like to eat. They knew my favorite drink. It was so familiar. It was crazy. And I was raising a family, and I said, I've got to stop this. I've got to get off the road, and decided to step away from that. And this was after I built offices in Hong Kong and Dubai and United Arab Emirates and Puerto Rico to service outside of the United States. I took AHA Global. So much travel in my career. And everything was really dependent on people, right? On the ground, on networking, on knowing people and building communities and building kind of your tribe as you were doing this, because you had to leave, right? You had to go back one day, back home to the office, to the home, and you had to trust that those things were rolling. Well, the beauty to me of LinkedIn is it is a digital community, right? You no longer have to hop on a plane. It's a click. You can connect with everybody in the world that you want to connect with, and the opportunities are there, and people are very open to build digital relationships if you do it the right way. And of course, there's a lot of the wrong ways. And people
I was going to say, the key word in that is the right way, because I know so many, and I'm sure that you're like this, you get people that are a little aggressive about how they pursue the conversation, and they don't really understand the nuances of how to build a relationship and create some dynamics that go back and forth and give and take before they ask for the favors.
And they're not all New Yorkers.
And it's not all you New Yorkers.
I can say that since I lived in New York and New Jersey for a while.
Yeah.
So I can say that. I've given permission for that. To me, that is part of learning how to build community, right? I mean, the way LinkedIn works is very much like real life.
Yeah.
Right? If you go out into your community today and you walk around and you try to sell everybody on what you're selling, before you even say hello, know anything about them, you just start hammering them, right?
Yeah.
What happens? They run away.
They run away.
Yeah.
They see you coming. They see you coming.
Yeah, not only do they run away, they say, hey, Bob, watch out. Russ is coming. He's going to sell you something.
Yeah.
And it spreads, right? And that becomes your new reputation.
Yeah.
You're the bomber. You're the one
that's not the reputation you want to have.
No.
Online.
One of my favorite authors, Bob Berg, who wrote the Go-Getter.
Go-Givers.
Yeah, I mean, the simple concept that we buy from people that we know and trust.
Yeah.
Right? That's the way it should be. So, what you've got to do before that is they've got to know you and they've got to trust you. They've got to know that you are a good human being. You've added value to their life. You've supported them in their process. You've built a relationship. And you can't do that by automating emails and slamming people immediately after you connect or any of those kind of things. They don't work. People don't respond to them. It's worse than that 1% return that spam used to get, right? I think anybody who responds to anything on LinkedIn like that, especially the invite me and then bait and switch to a sales pitch. They're wasting their time.
It doesn't work. Hey, I want to give a shout out to some of the people in the room we got here. Kevin, we got some folks in the room now. Mark Morrison, hello, Pirates, enjoying the show. We got Fred Costa. Fred, good morning. How the heck are you, my friend? Doing well. So, and Jeff Young, I'm sure you know. Okay, I rearranged my schedule to catch you two guys. Decide to be kind. Russ Johnson, Kevin D. Turner. Fantastic.
Cool guy.
And here's another LinkedIn amazing individual pirate. Hey, Russ. Good pirate morning. Andy, how the heck are you? Haven't seen you for a while. Catch up. Jeff Young and Kevin D. Turner, great to see you both. Nice way to start my day in New Jersey. Kenneth Lane. And then Jeff goes, howdy, Kenneth. How are you familiar? How are you, my pirate friend? So it's really, I mean, it's the comments keep coming, Kevin, and that's what community is about. It's about the idea and the opportunity that we can carry on a conversation without asking for anything. And what I've discovered along my journey um, has always been that if you get to know people and if they need your service, you're the first person they come to. And it's just
Absolutely.
like you just have to build your network and say, be the person that people reach out to. Say, hey, if you need live streaming content creation kind of thing, talk to Russ. That's that you have to have a reputation around something. And so I think that falls in line with, the brand strategist. Is the brand has to be what people tell people about you. That's kind of what the essence of branding is.
Absolutely.
Is like, how do other people talk about you? How do other
they
people
say when you're not in the room?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. What do they say when you're not in the room?
I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah, what do they say when you're not in the room?
And what most people don't understand is they do have control of that message. They can build that message and they can act in a way that is responsible and supports that brand message. And so then it does become the message. You can focus it and people pick up on it. And then when you're not in the room, people are talking in the terms, right, that you want to be known for.
Yeah.
So you don't leave it up to chance. You really can fine tune that, hone it in, deliver upon it, and therefore it becomes, truth in that sense. That becomes your reputation. That is your personal brand.
Yeah. Consistency as well. I think
Absolutely.
showing up consistently in the same way, being who you are. It's like I tell people, hey, I've lived long enough that I don't necessarily need to be anyone else. It's like I don't need to be anyone else. I'm gonna stay who I am as long as for the rest of my life.
And comfort in who you are, right?
Yeah.
And building that into part of your presentation, right? That's really critical because people believe it. It's got truth to it. It's got transparency to it. You won't attract everybody in business, but you'll attract the people who want to do business with you.
Yeah.
And to me, that's critical. What I go crazy about is often you see people who try not to be anybody, right? Try to be as basic as they can, and to borrow something from Lauren Grief, to be beige, right? Or what I call personal blanding, right? You don't use a picture, or you don't use a background, or you don't have a statement. You try to keep all the details out of your profile.
Yeah.
And yet you want somebody to trust you. If you use personal blanding, they will never trust you.
I have been guilty of that. I used to run networks in Houston when I was in Houston and built up a network of, a community of around 1,000 people. And there are still people to this day that have no idea what I do because I was always the person introducing them to someone else and, or organizing a speaker to come to a meeting and things like that. I was always a nerd, I was always in technology and had solved problems, but they really had no idea how to deal with me. And that was a mistake I made in not producing a brand and an outcome and putting the stake in the ground and saying, this is what I stand for. And this is what I intend to do. And this is how I help. And this is how I help you.
Yeah.
And
at that point, you can leave it alone.
Yeah.
Until they ask again, right?
Exactly.
Open this area. And when you do that, that's when they do come to you.
Yeah.
It's almost like you teased them, right? You told them what you did. Then you went on to doing other good things for them that helped them in many other ways. And now they're going, wait a minute, Russ, can we get back to what you do? I want that.
Yeah. My buddy, Ronald in Houston used to say, attract and engage, don't chase and convince.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And it's a great, simple statement that really has meaning around it. And as a brand, you have to be able to attract people to your brand in certain ways. And it's not necessarily shouting to the rafters or broadcasting, hey, I'm great. It's just doing good work consistently over time. So What are some other things? I want to talk a little bit more about some other things that are going on in LinkedIn, but I also want to shout out to a few more people. We got Jeff Young says, Kevin D. Turner. That's another thing that we have in common. I used to travel and be on the road 85% of my week. At one time, I was on the top 10 American Airlines flyers. I don't know if that's good or bad, Jeff, because
Yeah, I'm executive platinum for life, and I haven't flown in 10 years.
Oh.
And I like it that way.
And Sherry Lawley says, good morning, Pirates. And Target Avatar will circle back in the future. So thank you, Sherry. Love you. Kenneth says, Jeff Young doing well, and my first time hearing Kevin speak, and I didn't want to miss this. So you got some fans out there, Kevin. So hi, Kenyatta. What do you think? Good morning, you too, Kenyatta. This is the thing that I love about, and Kathy Spooner, she was on yesterday. So good morning by YouTube today. And then Lauren says, love that at Russ, attract and engage. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the other things that you have enjoyed around LinkedIn and how it's helped you develop a brand strategy for yourself. And because obviously there's some people in the room that know, like, and trust you, Kevin. So obviously you've done something right. And what do you feel that you can attribute that to?
You know, I think it's the way I've always been as an individual, the way I grew up, right? What my parents taught me, what my community taught me, and really kind of translating that into business, right? And how to do business and do it in a way that really creates win opportunities all the way around. And even to embrace competitors in this kind of co-optition, I guess is one of the words, right? Yeah. Because there's a lot out there. We don't have to have it all. We just have to have enough for ourselves to help those that we can, and then help our competition sometimes as well. And to me, that's the way I grew up. I did presentations many, many years back at the Sony National Convention on consultative selling and, really how to get your services, your products out there in a way that again is based on this relationship, based on trust, based on helping them accomplish what they need to accomplish as well. And it gets you to where you need to be. That to me has always been, I guess, my background, and it translates into LinkedIn. Just like I said earlier, LinkedIn is like the real world, right? In that sense, the same principles that work in the real world work digitally.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't get. They think all the time, I've got to do this algorithm, or I've got to fit this mold, or I've got to present myself this way. If that's not the way that works for you in the real world, it's not going to work digitally either.
Yeah.
Find out what that truth is and take the truth forward, because that is the essence of building trust, the essence of building relationships. If you're in it for the long run, which we all should be, right? Yeah. We don't have that much of a time limit on ourselves right now. Hopefully we don't. So focus on that. Yeah. And again, take those principles that we were raised with, that we know work, that we've experienced work. Take those things that we did wrong throughout our lives that we've said, wow, I now know what that did, to me, to others, and take that in and learn from that, and then apply it digitally. And that's the I think the most incredible value that LinkedIn has to its members is just that, is the fact that you can now, basically span the world, find people that are like you, that want to do things with you, that want to collaborate with you, build with you, and they could be anywhere.
Well, look what Shelley's been doing with the Unity Day and Decide to Be Kind. And, I end everything with, kindness is cool, smiles are free. And there's a reason for that. And it's been consistent since I occasionally get posts from Facebook, here's an old post from Facebook, 7 years ago, and it's same message, same intent. And I think back and I'm thinking that wasn't necessarily a marketing ploy. That was just who I am. And so that's that's been good for me, and it's just who I am. So being consistent like that online is not a stretch for me at all. And I think that's the real message is be yourself, just be open and honest, and allow yourself the opportunity to meet and engage with people. And the difference is it's not necessarily at your local community center at a networking event. It's global, and there are a lot of different people, a lot of fascinating individuals that, I have friends now around the world, much like yourself, Kevin. We have friends and people that if we went to their city and their town and their country,
Oh yeah,
we would definitely be able to call
for
somebody
dinner.
up. Yeah, we'd go out and have dinner and everything else. So,
Sleep
and
on my
it's
couch if you need it.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's
Exactly.
you get to that point. I mean, that is the beauty of this is you can actually, I guess, digitally suss out people too, just like you can sometimes in person. Sometimes I think it's even easier because with digital, there is a trail, right?
Yeah,
You tell me one thing, but I find out, through Googling you or through looking at other things, you're actually doing something else, right? You say you're kind, but you're bullying people. I
yeah,
can find that out.
yeah,
So in some ways it's its own background check, right?
exactly.
One of the fascinating things that I find, and most people are unaware of this, is companies now are tracking everything we do on the internet, not just what we look at and see, right, to predict where we're going to be, but they're also looking at everything we write and comment. And they're creating that to be packaged and sold as a reference point of view.
Mhm.
So, best
Well,
way.
and that's an interesting thing too, Kevin, which brings up a great point, which I think we probably need to touch on before we wrap up today, and the fact that a lot more people, rather than going down to the mall and searching, looking for that thing, they're doing it home on their computer, searching for things, and people and products are becoming more the same in terms of what kind of research we can do with our engagement, our time. And our time is becoming the most valuable asset we have. And so we don't want to necessarily spend a lot of time uh, working with people that aren't going to help us in move in the right direction. So we really have to be cautious about what we put out there and how we put it out there, because that digital footprint does follow you
Oh yeah.
the rest of your life. And I'm so thankful that I grew up at a time before the internet when all my shenanigans
Before smartphone video, right?
yeah.
What would we be living down now? We won't say, but it would be out there, wouldn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So what are your thoughts on that as far as people searching and evaluating? Is that a good thing? Is it a
It is kind of reality, right?
yeah.
So we need to know and understand that. And if we are who we say we are, we should be functioning and working in that same method. There shouldn't be anything out there that contradicts who we say we are. Otherwise, we're not being truthful to ourselves or to anybody else. And that does deteriorate the personal brand. And so, that you have to know what that is and be careful of it. But what is amazing now is there are companies, let's say if you go into an interview, right? And it's between you and Jane and Bob, they're actually doing predictives on you based on what you write on the internet, based on what you go see on the internet, right? And they are giving you a risk score. So they don't tell the companies now what they saw as a detailed item, but they give you a risk score. So you might actually show up to an interview and they look at you and you're a 95% risk based on what the company said to look for as factors like fitting into culture, things like honesty, those kind of things. You're going to get a rating. And based on that, you could end up with the job or not with the job, or let's say with the business or not with the business, right? So if you were selling not just yourself, but your services or products, all that now is being offered, and people don't understand that they need to go back. They need to look at what they've said and what they've done make amends, clean it up, start new, really focus. If this is who you are, focus on it. Make sure that that is the message you're taking out into the internet. Because now with the ability to basically track and see and predict a lot of things, people don't realize it is now impacting their future. And, we've got to respect it because we can't stop it.
Yeah, we can't stop it. It's the genie's out of the bottle now.
Very true.
So Loren says, Kenneth Lang, Jeff Young, thanks for inviting me to join my 2 faves. Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm not one of Lauren's faves, so.
There you go.
It's like it was Jeff Young and Kenneth Lang.
Kenneth says, "Are you here now?" And I just met Recovering Addict. He's a friend out of the StreamYard community. Global connection is awesome. And Lauren says, yes, coffee, dinner would love to host a LinkedIn Connections barbecue in Chicago on the roof deck. The connections are real and so supportive. Absolutely, positively.
Yeah, barbecue.
Yeah, Kenneth says, Kenyatta Turner, nice to meet you here.
Hey, Kenyatta.
And it says, Lauren says, yes, and make sure it's granny proofed so you don't want your granny to see it. Remove it.
that is one of the best test equations, right? If you won't say it in front of your grandma, don't say it, right?
Yeah.
That's always a good kind of rule.
There's a book out there called The Mom Test. It's for developing software. If your mom doesn't get it, you probably don't explain it well enough. So
there you go. There you go.
So what's your favorite new function or feature on LinkedIn right now, Kevin?
I think my favorite, because I move a little too fast sometimes, and I have fat fingers, right? So one of my favorites is now in messaging, you can edit, right? So if you sent something and as soon as you send it, you see it, right? And you're like, that wasn't supposed to be that way. Yeah. But you can actually go back within 1 hour. You can go back and you can edit that message, right? Or even delete that message and do it again, but it has to be within 1 hour. And the person on the other side might not see the original message, but they will see that it has been edited, right? Yeah. And the reason for the 1 hour window is, and LinkedIn is still in debates with this, Chris Setso is kind of following this up, is if you made it too long, you sent somebody some information, they made a decision on it, right? And then the next day you change the information, it kind of leaves them hanging. So they're giving you that hour window for just goofy mistakes, which I think is fantastic, because no matter what, it always happens. It always happens on the most important thing you sent, right? All the stuff that wasn't important, that went perfect. The stuff to your mom, that all went great. And then that really big deal, that's where you put the big typo in there, or you didn't come across right when you reread it. So that, I think, is fantastic. I think people have been waiting for that for a long time.
I like that.
The other one is the fact that you can now give away from office message, right? So if you are doing a lot of business on LinkedIn, and your first level connections might be sending you messages, and they're like, well, why is Russ not responding? Right? Russ might have taken that first vacation in 10 years, and Russ should, right? And you should be able to say, hey, look, I bugged out. I'll be back on, the 31st, whatever it is. You should be able to do that. Now LinkedIn's allowing you to do that. I think that's fantastic. Be careful. It is all your first level, connections can see this. So if you don't trust all your first level connections, you might not want to let them know you're out of town. Yeah,
no kidding.
That's the other side of that.
What do you think? What do you think for people that are starting out, with COVID and everything going on, a snapshot, kind of a legacy piece of knowledge here? A lot of people are starting out in entrepreneurship for the first time, starting a side hustle, whatever it happens to be, to make sure that things take place. As far as just a brand practice or something that people need to think about when they're going forward, in your experience and understanding of what today's market looks like, what would you suggest people focus on to get the party started, just to level things up a little bit more for them?
I think, first of all, you should know exactly what you want to deliver, right? What you're passionate about, what you're knowledgeable about, and what resonates in the market. Because you could be passionate about it, knowledgeable about it, but if nobody wants to buy it, it's not going to go anywhere. But you kind of have to do that research ahead. Get a concept behind your brand, right? And start with it. Don't try to get 6 months down the road and then change it all up, right?
Yeah.
Unless you've discovered something new. But begin, at least half-baked in the sense of know these things and what you're going to offer, what the market, wants to pay for it, those kind of things. Get your brand together and start unifying that presentation. And then go out, build your community on LinkedIn, with trust and sharing and all those good things that you do to build good, strong social currency.
Yeah.
The business.
Always add value.
Yeah.
That's a simple rule you can always follow that works. Always add value.
Absolutely.
Wherever you turn.
That is my definition of strong social currency is based in the gold standards, right? Of sharing, caring, and reciprocity.
Yeah, absolutely.
You pull all those together, you're good to go.
Awesome. Hey, Kevin, it's been a pleasure. I love the fact that we got together, and I look forward to future conversations and making sure we stay in touch and contact in the pirate community. If you're not connected with or follow Kevin, reach out, tell him you're a pirate, tell him you're part of the pirate community, and make sure that you have an opportunity to have a conversation at some point in time. So, and as always, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the fact that you're here, Kevin. Thank you again for being here, sharing your knowledge and sharing your wisdom with us. And as always, everyone, kindness is cool, smiles are free, and you enjoy the day. Till next time, we'll see you. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.